Hey guys, this video is from our latest Rick and Johnny podcast. Make sure to check out the full podcast on blogtalkradio.com/Rick and Johnny. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know Johnny and I had fun recording it.
This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic.
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub.
And we are back for another episode of the Rick and Johnny podcast here on Most Valuable Podcast. And you guys might be wondering something. It's a Saturday right now. You might be going, I'm seeing you guys a little, well, we're recording this on Friday, Johnny. They're going to see this on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So they're seeing us. It's the future for them. We're recording this on Friday, but they're in the future right now. And they're probably thinking, guys, we usually don't see you until Monday morning. WTF? Well, it was Easter this week, so we're recording on Friday because it was either that or not give you a podcast, and we want to give you a podcast. We love doing this. We want to get one for you. If you're on YouTube, hello. Thank you for seeing our wonderful faces. And if you're on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, or Stitcher, thank you for giving us the download. Thank you for giving us the listen. Johnny, we got some gold, but before I get to the gold, what we're going to be talking about, we're going to look at Cable. We now have an actor that is going to be Cable. Yep. Basically, it's Thanos' Cable, but we're going to talk about that.
Cross universe.
We're going to look at the Thor trailer, talk about Thor, our excitement for Thor coming up later this month. But I said them in reverse because we're going to start off with the universe, the Force, the gods gave us a gift today. They gave us a gift here on Good Friday. They gave us a Star Wars trailer, a Force Friday, as you could call it. We have our first teaser trailer for Star Wars The Last Jedi. I wore my Trench Run shirt just for the occasion. Johnny, we're going to be reacting to the trailer. So really, after we watch this trailer, what were your first thoughts?
You know what? I like we get little snippets of everything in the movie, not just like one little thing. At least that's what it seems like. We get back to what's going on with Rey. We get to see what's going on with Poe and Finn. Especially, I'm interested to see exactly what's going on with Finn because we're probably just going to jump around in the little trailer.
It looked like he was in a casket to me.
To me, just going along with the Star Wars universe, I think it's like a stasis pod. It's healing him, just like we saw in one of the original Star Wars. Luke was putting one in some water for a short time to heal. So I think that's what's going on with him. He's in this thing so he can heal because he was pretty badly injured after what happened with him and Kylo Ren, especially that last slash across his back. He did not get up from it. You saw Chewie had to carry him to the Millennium Falcon, and even then they had to carry him back off, and then we don't know what happened to him. We get Rey training with Luke, which is pretty exciting.
Very Yoda and Luke.
Oh yeah, just
like I immediately thought, so Luke is going to be Rey's Yoda. That's what he's going to be.
Just homaging back to that, and then the base we last saw gets attacked, which I'm intrigued to see that. But
a lot of shots of Poe running with BB-8 kind of right next to him. They see me rolling.
Now I want you to theorize something for me because we were watching the trailer and there's these line of ships that all are going. They're in line and they're dragging something across the ground, creating this red cloud behind each one of them, and this to like almost like grid pattern-ish the sand. But there's this one that just slams into the ground first and then kind of starts rising up. What do you think that could be about?
That's one of those things where I looked at that and I thought this is an attack on. It's either an attack on a specific like fight, kind of like how in I'm going back episode 5, like how we had the Hoth battle. True. Maybe that is just like, I just thought that was a scene from a fight that is going to happen later in the movie. Because right now in the trailer, I'm trying to, as soon as you bring it up, I'm like, Johnny, you hit me with a part where it's one of those things where I had to find it, and I do. And it's kind of like dust or sand coming out.
It's like a smoke screen
from behind them. And maybe that's one of those things where it's maybe they're coming out of the base. So it's one of those things where, hey, we're going to defend the base. We want to show everyone where we are so that people can come and help. Maybe that's what the smoke is for, to like tell them this is under attack. We need defenses here right away. I just thought it was a defense. Like, it's going to be one of the battles that we see, not for Leia, not for Luke, not for maybe Finn will be in there, maybe Poe will be in there, but not for like Kylo, Luke, or Rey.
None of the main characters.
Yeah, that's going to be going on alongside of whatever Rey and Kylo and Luke are going through at the moment. And the thing that I really liked about the trailer is you got that sense of Padawan to master, because Luke even says, it's Luke's voice, and you hear, "What do you see?" And she goes, "I see the light." And you kind of see it's very much a throwback to the Rebel base from the 4, 5, and 6. Where you see that same kind of table with the lights. Obviously, we see the late Carrie Fisher. That's got to be Princess Leia there, because we know she's in the movie. Right there, they don't show anything, but you're knowing that is Leia leading not the rebels, but they'd be the rebels.
Yeah, they would be.
So
Still
you
rebels.
see that, and she says the good. Then you go and she says the bad, and you see what you said looks to be Kylo's helmet.
Yeah, the only reason I say that is because I agree with you. It did look kind of like Darth Vader's, but the thing is, it's got a lot more of the silver decals to it, which Vader had very little of that. It was all black with a little bit of silver in the mouthpiece, where you got like this thing that looks like going along here. It looks almost like Kylo's helmet smashed, but it could even just be a remnant of his, because the Knights of Ren could have helmets like his.
And another
possibly.
thing that we see is she talks about the balance, and it shows this kind of this logo, this image of what looks like someone drew a straight line and then put a star towards the bottom.
It looks very familiar. I wish I could have found out more so what I remember it from. But actually, back to those ships, I agree with you. It could be along the lines of like, hey, we need help. Because if you go to like 1 minute, 16 seconds, I actually went specific like that.
Yeah, well, if you're watching the Kino Check trailers, the one you're looking at.
Yeah, but the thing, Kino Check. And if you look in the background, you can see the ships are kind of coming around you, and you know that's the ones. But if you look way in the distance, it's the AT-AT walkers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could be like almost like a flare of, hey, we need help, or a distraction.
And the thing that this is supposed to be, because if you are a Star Wars fan, kind of each Star Wars trilogy has sort of followed the same kind of format. The first one, I'm going back to the original trilogy because that's the one I follow.
Yeah, no,
you have A New Hope.
Agree with you on doing that.
A New Hope by itself could be a phenomenal. Like if that was just a movie, you would say phenomenal movie. It's a phenomenal story. But that's where you first learn about the hero. Hero's established, defeats good. The second, the hero has fallen. Luke Skywalker at the end of Empire Strikes Back gets his hand chopped off, learns his father is Darth Vader. We get Han Solo and Leia and Chewie, what they had to go through with Lando Calrissian.
The betrayal,
in Empire, he's in the carbonite, so he's frozen in carbonite. Han is gone. Leia's broken, basically. Luke, no hand, finds out that Vader is his father, and the hero has fallen. And then Return of the Jedi is then coming back. Luke being stronger, they save Han Solo. They defeat basically the Empire. And in this, I'm starting to see kind of hints of that, where the fall to me isn't going to be of Rey and of Finn or of Poe. It's going to be, in my mind, the fall of the Jedi. Because the one line that Luke says in the trailer is that, like, along the lines of, this has to be the last Jedi. Basically saying the Jedi need to be no more.
Yeah, that's basically what he says.
And, that makes me... First, two things. First, It makes me want to see this movie so bad because you know there's going to be a ton of backstory from Luke.
Oh, yeah.
About why he feels that the Jedi should be no more. Like, Luke, this is your thing. You're a Jedi. You should want to rebuild the Jedi. No, he's saying no, there can be no more Jedi. But also, it's one of those things where, there's so much evil that have had to happen. Because the one thing I love from this trailer, too, and I'm going to take this off before I let you talk about the whole Last Jedi thing that Luke said.
Yeah.
When Kylo puts up his lightsaber, you get a really crisp, clear look at his lightsaber, and you could tell something's not right about that crystal because if you look at the beams, it's all raggedy and not straight like a normal Jedi.
Well, it was like that in the other movie too, because
But this time it's more defined in that sense.
Yeah. I think they're going with a little bit more perspective of how bad it is. They're getting a little bit more detail in that now.
Maybe he made his makeshift lightsaber.
Well, he made his own lightsaber, and that's the thing. He doesn't quite know how to make a lightsaber, and who really taught him besides Snoke from wherever he's at? But the thing with that Last Jedi comment makes me think, is Luke just going to denounce, as we kind of talked about in our last one?
Denounce the Jedi Order?
Yeah, because remember in Star Wars, the whole idea, and this is actually brought up by Tyrannus, or was it Sidious?
I think it might have been
Palpatine. That's
yes. I was going to say Tyrannus. I was going to be wrong.
Yeah. Well, anyways, by Palpatine, it's brought up that there's good is a matter of perspective. So to the Sith, what they were doing is what was good. But to the Jedi, what they thought was good. Honestly,
now Luke has a third perspective. Neither of you guys are good.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the third perspective. You know what? Neither of you guys were right. What we need to do is you need to do what you feel is right, or maybe we're starting to go towards a gray Jedi thing now.
Maybe. So
we're just gonna ride the neutral line and waver back and forth a little bit, like sine or cosine. Yes, I went nerdy right there.
Well, it's kind of like maybe that's what Luke has begun, because like I mentioned, and I really want to know from this movie when I see it, is I want to know the backstory of Luke. Because
I agree.
We kind of get a flash of his, we get more of, and this is what I liked, we get a bigger, if I can get the words out of my mouth, they get a more detailed scene of a scene that we saw in the trailer for the last Star Wars movie, where the last one we kind of see the cloak and boom, the hand on R2, and we're like, that's Luke!
Yeah.
And then we're like, wait a second, that was in the trailer, but we never saw it in the movie.
Except for a little snippet when
but it was
Rey had her little episode
but it was
with the lightsaber.
one of those things where it's like, what? I thought we were going to expand on that. Well, we are now, where we see that same scene, R2 with his little light is green.
Yeah.
With hooded Luke. I'm saying it's hooded
Just
Luke.
one hand on him.
Next to him. But instead of that side shot we got, we're getting right from behind them. And what do you see in the distance? You see Kylo Ren. But the thing is, who is he with? Is he just with a army of stormtroopers? Or is that a flashback to Ren with the Knights of Ren? When maybe Luke fought Kylo and the Knights of Ren.
So, I agree with that. I think I'm excited to get more of that backstory because I can kind of see where he starts to push.
What do you think? Theorize for a second. What do you think it is?
I'm actually getting there.
Okay.
So the reason it ties in with why he says the Jedi Order needs to go, and honestly, I wonder if he also means Jedi and Sith, all of it needs to go. But the Sith is kind of gone. We haven't mentioned the Sith at all in this past movie, and we haven't had any mention of it yet. So the reason he says the Jedi has to go is kind of now a gray Jedi thing. But I get where he goes with that line, because he was training all these Jedi, kind of restarting the Jedi Order. And Ren just wipes them all out except for him and the possibility of maybe Rey being a small child back then. But anyways, we're just going to say for now, except for him, he wipes all the other Jedi out. So why restart a Jedi Order when maybe after all the years of contemplation and meditation and possible still training, you probably get a new perspective on everything that went on, and you go, you know what? This order didn't work then. This order didn't work when I tried to rebuild it. We need to do something new.
And that's funny that you say that, because think about this.
Yeah.
Think of Yoda and cover your ears, Star Wars fans, because I'm about to make them bleed. Remember Yoda in the prequels. Ooh, I'm sorry I had to say that word. Ooh, the prequels. But remember him in the prequels.
Yeah.
Younger Yoda, master of the Jedi Order, fought Dooku. And when they had all the Jedis around and can Anakin start, no, I sense some dark in this one. But then you flash forward to the trilogy. Everything's good again. Guys, it's okay. I said trilogy. We're on good footing now.
We're back to normal.
Then you get Yoda in the trilogy. When Luke came to train from him, Yoda didn't want to teach him at first.
No, he didn't.
Yoda was like, no, because you kind of got this like grizzled war vet thing where it's like, no, I've lived that. Like, that is not the way. But Luke was like,
I will not do.
And Luke was like, come on, you have to. Come on, you got to train me.
Yeah.
You have to. And then eventually Yoda gives in, and then Luke goes on to complete his whole story arc. I think we're going to get the same thing here.
With Ren, yeah.
With Rey.
Rey,
because one of the things that I remember is in leaked footage that Disney showed their like stockholders. I want to say a month or at the beginning of the year. Yeah, a month or two ago. There was a clip of it's Rey putting out the lightsaber for Luke, and Luke just goes, "Who are you?"
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
It's one of those things where I feel like she is going to just badger and badger and badger that you have to train me. You have to train me. Please train me. Please train me. There is something going on. I can feel it. And Luke is going to go, no, 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 no. Fine, I'll train you. But here's what we're going to do. It's going to be the same kind of overarching thing that we saw with Yoda and Luke. But in the end, Luke is going to go, fine, I will train you. But only if we do this, because the Jedi need to end. Because the Last Jedi don't mean, oh, Rey's the Last Jedi. It means, no, this needs to be the last of the Jedi.
Yeah, the whole order is done. You know,
Yes.
we're not having this order anymore. And you know what? That like it goes back to me saying, I think we're going to get this, and I think I said in the last one, we're not going to get this we're not going to get this Sith Jedi anymore. We're going to get this
kind of gray Jedi.
or even just light dark and just stay in that range now, because it's like you are no longer Sith or Jedi, and we're not following that order anymore. We're not following their rules anymore. We're doing what needs to get done, whether you're this side or this side. But yeah, we didn't bring it up last time, or we brought it up very little. I don't remember. But Gray Jedi now I think is going to feed into it. We're going to finally get that type of thing. We got a hint of it with Qui-Gon Jinn, I think.
Yes, he was kind of gray a little bit.
We hint it, like it wasn't like out there, but it's like, yeah, he's kind of grayish Jedi. He doesn't agree with all the Jedi stuff. But now, yeah, we're getting more of this kind of thing. So I'm way more excited, especially with how they laid out this trailer. That last phrase at the end, there are going to be no more Jedi. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember specifically. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what he means by that exactly. And like you're saying, I think we're going to get a lot more backstory to what happened between him and the Knights of Ren. And Kylo Ren as well, and see where that story went before he went into exile himself.
I got two last questions for you. The first one has to deal with Poe. The only thing we see of Poe is he's in like that
the hangar, yeah.
He's in the hangar, or he's in the...
You mean Finn?
Finn, that's what I'm thinking about.
No, I get
Finn.
that confused too.
So we see Finn, he's in that, like, what you're saying is a stasis pod.
Yeah.
What do you think, if your theory is, I mean, we didn't get a lot, but what is your theory for Finn? Do you think we're going to see a little bit more in this movie, maybe his backstory with the First Order and him being a stormtrooper, maybe a little bit of more interaction between like him and Phasma, I think it is.
Yeah.
Or Brienne of Tarth, basically.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see enough of her in the first one, and I was very upset that she didn't have a bigger role. Are we going to see more of that with Finn? Then number two, I want to get your thoughts on how big of a presence will Snoke be in this, do you think? Because we didn't see him at all in the trailer, but we didn't see him at all in the first trailer for last movie.
No, that's true. I feel like we're going to get a bit more with Snoke, because now Ren is supposed to meet with him and start better training now, as what I believe he's supposed to at the end of the movie. They mentioned that. So we're going to get more of that now. At least we have to get a little bit more, if not the same amount of Snoke as the last movie. But to go with what you were talking about with Finn, maybe we'll get that, like more of his backstory while he's in the stasis pod, maybe some like dream sequences before either he'll wake up, or it'll just be some stuff with him while like, hey, what condition is he in? What's going on with him? And obviously he needs to heal somehow from those like how badly hurt he got in that movie, the last movie. So I think we may get a little bit with it, but more so it's just this is focusing a lot on Rey, her training, what he means by this no more Jedi, and what the Last Jedi means, and what's going to happen to the rebels at this time. Because we have quite a few scenes of that base we saw last time being blown up. We saw the AT-AT walkers way in the distance and these other ships flying towards them, kind of like the Hoth scene when we first get some AT-AT walkers. And there's just a lot of explosions, actually.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh, if it's not a scene about Rey and Luke, it's a lot of ship fight scenes.
I think we're gonna get a lot of that, a lot of the Rey-Luke relationship in this, and I can't wait for that. I was going to cut you off because I was going to say we should probably throw it to them to see what they think.
I want to know what you guys think.
Let us know down below in the comment section. What do you guys think? Have you watched the trailer? If not, link will be down below in the description for you guys to do that. Let us know what you think. What are you excited for this movie? And I can't wait. Christmas cannot come soon enough to see some more Star Wars.
I don't know about this, Rick.
Just do it, Morty.
Thank you for watching Most Valuable Podcast video. If you want to watch more of them, just watch them right here. And thank you for watching.